emotes. 9.13 marks the official launch of the away to game. I like how they don't even give a shit. Like, not even Riot gives a shit that their new champion's coming. Imagine launching a new champion the same patch that they know damn well everyone's going to be playing Teamfight Tactics. We're welcoming Qiyana as well. They may as well just rename this champion to Afterthought. Alright. Teamfight Tactics, whatever. Qiyana, the most whatever champion of all time. Corki, our ammo bar now reads left to right. Okay, that's just a quality of life thing then. Q, quality of life. Nothing important. They gave Alawi an AP ratio. I honestly wonder if that makes her more viable for support. Anyways, now that they've sold Darkstar Karma, it's okay to unbuff her. They literally are just undoing the buff that they just gave her. This is the funniest, most blatant, transparent instance of Riot buffs champs that are getting skins and then nerfs champs that they don't care about anymore. They've already sold they've sold 90% of the Darkstar Karmas they're going to, so there's still the Q slow. The Q slow was like a tiny portion of the buff. This was like 70%, 80% of the buff, I would say. Q damage ratio increase. Helping Ornn battle more in lane. I don't know how significant this is going to be. It's a 0.1 ratio increase, and how much AD does he actually have? I'd have to look at Ornn's build for that. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. This is pretty sad what's happening to Pyke. They are straight up removing solo lane Pyke. It's really sad because a lot of people have been outspoken against why this shouldn't be occurring. Solo lane Pyke is actually like a really interesting thing in the game. Voyboy and a couple other content creators have come out and been like, Riot, why are you doing this? Like, can you at least try to balance it instead of removing it? But for those who haven't seen the change yet, it's a minor buff to support Pyke. Realistically, I mean, this is really buffing a lot of portions of what you want out of a support Pyke. But your E no longer damages non-champions, so you can't help shove wave, you can't CS with it. It doesn't damage champions at all, which is really weird. The W is also getting buffed from 40% to up to 60%, so Pyke's going to be a lot faster because you do actually max W second. So, I mean, somewhat decent buffs to support Pyke, but completely removing, like, solo lane Pyke will be reportable after this. There's no reason to play it. Sejuani, health growth decreased, W second cast damage decreased. The last time Sejuani was buffed right before MSI in a patch, since then she's climbed down from a fringe pro pick to being in nearly 100% of pro games. While the buff was intended to let Sejuani scale better with items, we went too far and pulling back a bit. This is pretty reasonable. This is reasonable. Sivir, attack damage growth, mana regen decreased, W cost increased. Sivir has she's getting basically double hit this patch as well because, like they said, the Essence Reaver nerfs are going to hit her really hard. But this is understandable because Sivir she's basically the Sona of ADC. Insanely safe, insanely easy to pick up. Not mechanic intensive at all, very mechanic light. It's just too easy to exist as her. Honestly, I'm surprised she's not the go-to for like off-roll ADCs. Whenever I get an off-roll ADC on my main account in high-ELO, I just tell them to play Sivir. You just outscale everyone. Sona. Very sad that this is happening. I've already touched on this a little bit, but basically, this is pretty rough for her. She's going to be less inherently useful, which is like a lot of the reason that you would ever pick Sona. Her ratios are getting dumpstered. I mean, losing 30% of your aura on your Q, like It's like by late game, that's literally taking away like an item and a half of stats that she gives. She was too strong, and she has been too strong for a long while. I would much rather have seen them target her W, which seems like the actual problem, than the other two abilities. But Classic Riot, I do think they're pulling a Classic Riot as well, because I don't think this nerf is going to stop these lanes. So what's going to happen is we're going to nerf Sona, and then somewhere down the line, we're still going to be getting cheese lanes like this, like Sona Pyke, Sona Tomkin, Sona Taric, and then they're going to nerf the support items, and they're not going to undo this nerf, but so be it. The nerfs were coming. They were pretty inevitable. Sylas. Base... This is just the champion Riot cannot let go, can they? They just can't let this champion be bad. I feel like every single patch, Sylas and Akali, something's happening to them. Giving Sylas longer-term attention as we assist his status in higher levels of play. In the meantime, we're giving him some power back. It's just up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down with this champion. The problem is it stems from the design philosophy of this champion. They wanted Sylas to be a scenario, context-driven pick, where if you see the enemy team has Malphite, Lux, Syndra, Sivir, you could pick Sylas and have access to all those incredible ults. And you can't have him be a niche pick like that and be successful in more than 50% of his games. So his base kit, even without the ult doohickery, is too good. So that's why we keep seeing this up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. They just really need to balance him around being a counter pick, honestly. Like, let him be really strong as a counter pick, and good Sylas players can make do, even if there aren't strong ults on the enemy team. Whatever, though. Syndra is getting a... basically nothing pick. But nothing buff, I mean. I personally play Syndra support, and I don't really have mana issues with her. But I build very specific items that give me access to mana. She's basically non-existent in mid lane, so hopefully this will bring her back to mid lane. I think she's a really interesting pick. Despite all the memes surrounding her where people are like, oh, press R and you win the game, that's really not what Syndra is. She's got a lot more setup than people realize. Tristana. Attack damage growth, mana increased, mana regen decreased, W damage increased. Attack damage growth. This feels like one of those buffs that is gonna help her 2-item power spike. Like, this attack damage growth seems like it would be relevant around that stage of the game, which is where she spikes anyways. 10 damage on rocket jump is whatever. Udyr. I don't know enough about Udyr to even comment on this. I know nothing about him. If you want Udyr info, go find an Udyr streamer. No idea. Responsiveness paths. Similar to some of the work on Diana's Q, the following abilities more quickly and reliably apply their effects to enemies they hit. More quickly and reliably apply their effects. Okay. Essence Reaver, that's hitting, this is hitting Sivir. Rannu Dolmen, giving more options, armor choices for those who want to build more tanky. Oh, wow. This is actually really nice. No supports anyways, really build this item. It being 200 gold cheaper honestly might edge it out for fringe pick items, things like Righteous Glory. Like, if you aren't having trouble engaging, you might be eyeballing Randuin's instead of Righteous. I don't know. Rod of Ages, upgrade and total cost decrease. Rod of Ages takes too long to provide its benefits. A relatively fast-paced meta. Price reduction makes it... This is the problem, dude. Oh, man. I hate when they do this, man. Okay, so Rod of Ages is a late-game scaling item in an early-game meta. What if in 2 months we're not in an early-game meta anymore? Now we're going to have a late-game scaling item scaling really early. I hate when they do stuff like this. But it's only 100 gold. It's fine. But at least they didn't buff the actual, like, what makes the item good. But I really hate when they have like such short-sighted buffs like that. Your shop. Woohoo! Your shop returns, guys. Bug fixes. Talia, Morgana, Ezreal's abilities voice over lines will play less frequently. Oh, cool. We don't have to hear Ezreal as much. This bug was actually, like, not even lying. Probably costing me a game or two. When I'm playing on my main off stream, I mute all. And you mute all, and it would remove your ability to ping. You couldn't ping. And I'm a big, like, shot caller. I ping a lot when I play. So I would mute all, and I wouldn't be able to ping anything. Couldn't ping items, champions, on my way. Nothing. Upcoming skins, blah, 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 blah. Alright, that's it. That's patch 9.13. This is the, Teamfight Tactics patch. Oh, also Qiyana, a.k.a. the Afterthought champion. Yay! Patch notes.